Ron James gives us an update on the UFO hoax situation and a lot more today, so get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, yeah, per John Greenwald, below is a statement sent to me last night from Ron James, the filmmaker who released the attached photo. And of course, he's also the media director of MUFON. You know, as most of you are probably aware, he went on Vetted with Patrick a few days ago, and he released this photo that he claimed to be of a UFO crash retrieval as part of a shoot-down operation. But it turns out that it's very possible that this was in fact a hoax, and that those little guys on the saucer are miniatures. But, you know, I don't know if that's, solid yet. I don't know if we really know that conclusively yet. But here is what Ron had to say. When I choose to show these images from an ongoing investigation to various audiences, I was inviting the community to help us get to the bottom of their authenticity. The presence of a third matching individual in another version of this shot concurs, in my opinion, that this is indeed a diorama constructed using that kit, which we found out is German Soldiers at Rest from 1984. So they looked at some other stuff that they had, and they found, I guess, another matching figurine. Neither myself nor MUFON tried to sell the veracity of these images. We shared the story we were told in the current state of our investigation. We are very proud of members of the UFO community for helping to solve the mystery of this photo. We are also embarrassed and ashamed at the sheer nastiness of some people who clearly have no problem spewing venom from the safety of their keyboards. All of the negative comments about charging money, $100 for the live stream of our symposium, are not justified. That price includes a year of MUFON TV and access to the entire symposium live or later. It is the least expensive live stream. So yeah, it kind of goes on to be like an advertisement for the thing, which I guess is a good pivot. I mean, if you're going to pivot to making money, right? So, but there you go, him admitting that this was in fact a diorama. Let's see, I've got a picture of a, this is another people have been having fun on Twitter posting dioramas of UFOs, these faked images. So, it is what it is. It's too bad that this is probably turning out to be a hoax. Again, I don't know if that's conclusive yet, if it's solid, if it's done, if this goose is cooked. But it looks like it's pretty well cooked. So, I've got to make a full video about this. I'm just going to go, my time is kind of limited today, so I'm just going to go one by one through the current stories. But this guy has some really interesting stuff to say. He's a researcher that has looked into the Nazca mummies, as well as going in person, to South America and interviewing local people about mythologies and information that they have. And he had some crazy stuff. He's got some really interesting stuff to say, stuff that he's learned or been told. Some of it, may be the indigenous version of a conspiracy theory. What do I mean by that? Well, he says that Christopher Columbus didn't go to explore, but to intentionally, deliberately destroy, information related to the Nazca beings and the culture and information like that. Maybe working with the church or something like that, Christopher Columbus was dispatched to eliminate this knowledge. So I don't know about that. I'll have to read his book. It's not in English, but I am hoping to interview somebody that has spoken with him, and that we'll do an interview with him next week. And hopefully we'll get some more information about his research into South America and the legends that are circulating there and the tales people are telling, because I think there's probably a lot of truth among what the indigenous population of South America and Mexico are saying. They have ancestral stories they may be telling about interacting with the Nazca beings or the elongated skull people. Who knows what wisdom and knowledge they have to share. So I'm really, really looking forward to learning about that information. Meanwhile, Jordan Crowder, who I've been following lately, interesting guy with interesting takes on stuff. Recently, he went to the Monroe Institute and took their class and met Joseph McGonigal, one of the most famous remote viewers of all time. And was talking to Joe about his viewing of Mars. and how there are beings that were alive, intelligent beings on Mars that were alive 1 million years ago. And they came to Earth and maybe seeded humanity. They didn't want to be alone, something like that. He goes on, it's really interesting. He blends some stuff from the Book of Enoch and other sources, combining his own take on Joseph McGonagall's information. But it's interesting, and it's worth a watch, worth considering. He goes on to talk about how he has, it seems like he's been persuaded that the Ark, Noah's Ark, exists or existed. So interesting stuff, interesting stuff. Meanwhile, this is really interesting. Okay, this is Joey is not my name. This is Joey is not my name right here on the right. And I got to speak with him a few weeks ago about the Michael Herrera situation and how Joey is not my name was able to verify that Mike Herrera, who appeared very graciously on an interview with Cosmic Road, well, how Joey was able to verify that Mike went to one of these black sites. You know, Mike has spoken about going to one of these black sites, you know, of the UFO control group, where they have what Mike calls psionics, interacting with UFOs, luring them in so the control group can shoot them down and harvest their technology. And they, you know, give drugs to the psionics to boost their abilities, which greatly shortens the psionics' lives. These psychically gifted people who may have been recruited, maybe even forcefully recruited from their homes in places like Indonesia. You know, shocking, startling information, but here Joey is talking about how he verified that Mike went to one of these black sites, and also about whether the person inviting him to this black site is legit.
It's so initially it was the nature in which he took him to this location just said to me that this guy at the very least has to be some sort of high level person to be able to take him where he took him in the nature in which he did that. But now we have like third party corroboration of this insider from multiple very trusted people.
So that's fascinating. If we could get more information on this apparently pro-disclosure individual within the UFO control group, the guy that brought Mike Herrera to the black site and, you know, allowed him access to the black site. And so it's obviously not just that individual, because the other people weren't shooting him down, right? So, you know, is there a coordinated effort at some sort of disclosure within the UFO control group? Is that why they brought Mike in? If so, why don't they allow him to bring any evidence out? If they want this stuff out there, you know, why not allow him to show some photos or video? An interesting situation, but I absolutely believe Mike, and I love that Joey is sharing this really interesting information about how he was able to verify that Mike went to the black site. And it's a longer video, and he's not going to give any specifics. He did tell me how he did that, and it was, you know, it was a good method, but that's for Joey to tell, not for me to tell. And and as far as the rest of it goes, will we ever get to put a name and a face with the individual that, you know, brought Mike out there? This apparently pro-disclosure individual within the UFO control group. It would be amazing if he turned out to be one of David Grush's 40 whistleblowers, or maybe even better yet, somebody new, somebody we haven't heard of yet. Because, you know, I mean, not that we've heard of any of David Grush's whistleblowers, or most of them. Meanwhile, you know, you can't repost this often enough. You can't. I mean, this tweet will stand as a legendary tweet of all time. When Buzz Aldrin went down to Antarctica and had a heart attack, and then posted, "We are all in danger. It is evil itself," and then immediately deleted the tweet. What does that tweet mean? I know it's not a fresh story. It didn't happen yesterday, but it didn't happen that long ago. what was Buzz Aldrin talking about? What is going on in Antarctica? What, guys? What the what? Is there something evil in Antarctica? I don't know, guys. I don't know. People put the the religious spin on the phenomenon, and if you have a religious frame of mind, you might think this is demonic or even angelic. So you can look at it in a good way too. So maybe that's what he meant, but maybe there's something else going on. Either way, I want to know. And here's another diorama showing the Roswell crash. This is newly leaked photo of the Roswell crash. I obtained it from a very high-ranking source who wishes to remain anomalous. He wishes to remain anomalous. That'd be funny. Okay, he should. He should wish to remain anomalous. Okay. Yeah, Patrick Jackson has an interesting thing to say here. And he's going to mention a name here that sounds like Sean Kirkpatrick, but it's not. It's Sean Kirkpatrick or something like that. Okay. So he's talking about this new technology that that Patrick has developed to see beings, and I have actually talked about this before on the channel. It's really interesting, but let's give a listen because some other people have tried this technology out. And if you don't know what I mean, because I've shared this before, but it's been a while. But you can use this technology to see, shapes and faces in the mist. Spooky faces in the mist, guys. That's what we're looking at. Using this very interesting technology that apparently works. So other people have tested it out. Let's give a listen to some of their experiences.
So yeah, Sean Kirkpatrick is in the mix, and he said that he tried out one of your devices in order to see something. He was on a Spaces where you were at as well, and he shared his story. Now, what he said scared the shit out of me. He said that he turned this thing on in his living room, went over to the kitchen, made himself a cup of tea, turned around, and where this light was at, this kind of strobe light, he saw two figures looking at him.
Yeah.
He said it scared him so bad, he left, went and stayed at a friend's house, but that night ended up checking himself into the hospital because he couldn't cope with what he had just seen.
That's right.
That's a terrifying story, and one I don't think a lot of people want to endure. But is that a common story with people who try out your equipment?
Yeah.
Yeah, he says. So people are terrified by what they see. They go to the hospital. That's a common feature of this technology. Not a sales point. Not a sales point. I don't think that should be the tagline. Buy this equipment, be terrified, and go to the hospital. But is it legit? Is he actually using this equipment to visualize beings or to make beings that are already there visible to the naked eye? It's fascinating. I wish I knew the truth of that. If anybody in the audience knows more about it, let me know in the comments below. Patrick goes on to say, in my book, I hypothesized a method to breach what is described as the shadow biome. I tested it and documented the results. Filmed at 60 frames per second, you can watch the light bend before the figure appears, an effect that is currently technically impossible. So, yeah. What do you think about that crazy phenomenon that he's able to capture with that technology? It's crazy. I don't understand it, but it's really interesting. Okay, this is a weird story. I've been seeing this going around lately, guys. What do you think about the weird fake food, quote unquote fake food? I can only use one hand. I can only do one quotation mark. But yeah, look at that. What's going on with this weird food? People are wondering if some of this artificial food that's been growing in labs is being slipped in at the grocery store, and we are being exposed to artificially produced food, like this crazy watermelon where the skin comes off when you introduce it to water. It has a weird texture. That's not a watermelon consistency. That's odd. That is odd. She's going to bend it. Look at that. That's not how watermelons are supposed to go, but and if you leave them out, animals won't even touch it. Look at this. Has been out for a week. It's still there. What in the world? That's crazy. That's crazy. And it's not just watermelons. It's all sorts of food. Bananas are weird. That's not how a banana is supposed to be. And you might get a one-off banana like that, and maybe these are all like one-off examples. But yeah, that's supposed to be a blueberry, and it's like a piece of rubber. Okay, there it is, and then you can see if she anyway. But yeah, so yeah, weird. Oh, and here's another lady that got some magnets and stuck it on the food at the grocery store, and the magnet stuck. Maybe it's the barcode or something like that, something magnetized. But what is up with that food, guys? It is weird. It is weird. If you have any ideas about that crazy food, are they all just a bunch of one-off anomalies all compiled together? Or is there something going on at our grocery store? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Meanwhile, Tim Burchett met up with Linda MoldenHal. I would love to know what they talked about and what are the results going to be. Hey, Linda could be a whistleblower. She probably knows some stuff. If she could give him the names of some of her whistleblowers, or like Antarctica whistleblowers, and he could follow up on that and bring that to the world. I mean, I guess those people don't want to be public, assuming they're legit. But there's all sorts of information that she could probably share if she was at liberty to. So maybe she is. I mean, who knows? Just throwing stuff out there, guys. We don't know why they met exactly. But we do know they met, and that Tim is talking about it. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Meanwhile, we got a new Monolith. We got a new Monolith, guys. I'm not super excited about the Monoliths. I think they're probably all, or mostly, maybe all human done, but you don't know. You don't know, guys. And when they remove a monolith and say that it's rebar and chrome, I wish we could trust them. But unfortunately, the authorities, the powers that be, are not to be trusted on this kind of stuff, which is a frustrating position to be in, because it probably is just chrome and rebar. But you don't know, and you can't trust them. So yeah, Coast to Coast suggesting that the mystery monolith craze could be making a comeback. Another of the puzzling metallic pieces has been found in Colorado just a week after the discovery of a similar pillar near Las Vegas. The odd object, which can be seen showcased in the video below, reportedly appeared this past week atop a hill on the property of the Howling Cow Cafe. Howling Cow Cafe, I love it. In the community of Bellevue. Manager Brooke Williams said that she first became aware of the mysterious monolith when some customers entered the restaurant on Sunday asking, "Where is the alien structure?" The cafe manager subsequently learned that the photos of the peculiar piece, which can be seen from a nearby highway, had been spreading like wildfire on local social media, which led to swarms of people visiting the cafe. All right, well, very cool. So there you go. There is the monolith, the Colorado monolith. Again, probably just humans, but what if it's not? What if it's not? Anyway, interesting to think about. A fun story anyway, even if it's all, an art project or hoaxes. Okay, last but not least, last of the major stories, check this out. This is somebody who's been studying the moon, and he thinks that he's identified structures on the moon. I think there's probably stuff up there. There's been remote viewings, there's been astronauts, out-of-body experiencers that have seen things on the moon. And yeah, he thinks that's a structure right there. Is that a structure? I don't know. What do you guys think? It looks like it's sticking up from a crater or something, some dome-like structure sticking up from a crater. Is this an alien base or an ancient human base, an Atlantean base? What are we talking about? I think the moon is strange, guys. There's definitely something going on the moon. But let me know what you think about this intriguing footage in the comments below. Last but not least, if you find an alligator under your sidewalk, just dig him up. Just dig him up. Yeah, look at that. Okay, so, first of all, I'm really impressed that they just didn't kill the alligator. They actually tore up their own sidewalk to free him. And when they did free him, guess what they found? We'll see just a second. Wait for it. Wait for it. Okay, maybe I need to speed up. Okay, I'm done waiting. No, he's rolling around. No, there we go. There we go. Ah, it's another alligator. Or is that a crocodile? I don't know. But yeah, crazy guys. So I'm really impressed that they took great pains to save the animals, even at the expense of their own sidewalk. So kudos to those guys. I hope those alligators or crocodiles are doing well wherever they're doing, and that they stay out of sidewalks or patios or whatever that is from now on. So let me know what you think about this great alligator story and everything else covered today in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I sure appreciate it. Smash the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media. There's Facebook and Twitter links below. Love to see you guys there. If you wanted to support Cosmic Road in a bigger way, consider grabbing a coffee mug or a t-shirt in the merch store below, or by becoming a channel member, because channel members are rock stars, and I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you. Meanwhile, there are plenty of other videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.